In this lesson, we're going to look at how we can apply the figure 4 arm lock, but instead of rotating this way, we're rotating the other way. So we start here by, well, if my partner's arm's inside, later on we'll look at ways of forcing that out using our elbows and different techniques that we call can openers. But right now we're going to assume that our partner's arm, for one reason or another, has been caught away from his body. So the first thing we want to do is keep it away. If we find our partner's hand away from his body, not in here, we keep it locked away there, separating it from his body. We then drive it up this way to make this kind of shape, like a square here. Our other hand, palm down, slides underneath. A lot of people have trouble getting this hand underneath because they try to go under sideways and he holds his arm hard into the ground and they can't get it under there. Fingers down, just like a wedge, it'll go right under there. And when we get the grip, we grab near our wrist. If our other elbow's away here, we can have trouble reaching the arm. So the trick is, once we've moved this up here, is just to bring this elbow in here. Even if his arm's straight, I still bring my elbow in there, reach underneath, and then we can pull it up to a 90-degree angle. Once we have it here, we want to effect a rotation, like a propeller, an aeroplane propeller. But if I do that, you'll notice that David he tries to find a way to follow that rotation. So if my arm's being rotated this way, and I can follow the rotation, there is no effective difference between the way my arm is and my body. It's only about making, when my body stays here and my arm gets rotated, that this will dislocate. So naturally your partner always will try to find a way to follow the rotation. So to understand figure 4s properly, we have to first get the idea that we have to find a way to stop him from following the rotation. That's not even when we do the first figure 4 from the mount, it's not evident to everybody because the fact that we're sitting on him is stopping him from following the rotation by doing a back roll out. But it's really important to get that. Every time we do a figure 4, we've got to build into the construction of the technique a way of stopping that person from rotating out of it. So once we've got it locked down there, we've got the figure 4 locked up, I roll on my right hip, my left leg comes around in front of his head, drop my knee down to our leg is dropping down, and the inside of our thigh is pinning his head to the ground. Once his head is pinned to the ground, by rotating there, he doesn't get to follow the rotation, and his arm is rotating away from his body. Okay, so that's a really important part. If I just stand up like this, he can then lift up to there. Now that's sometimes okay, because then I can get the hand off the ground, and then there is nothing stopping the rotation. But just understand that nothing's going to happen until that slack is taken up there. So the most basic way to do it is, one, catch their hand away from the body, lock it to the ground. Move it up, make a nice square shape here. Wedge underneath, get the grip. Switch your base, pin his head down with the thigh. My left foot's at 12 o'clock. It's an extension of his spine, and rotate until we get the tap. We call that the lower figure 4 arm lock from side control.